2 News at 11 starts now.
And now at 11, big news. Wright State has been chosen to host the first presidential debate of next year.
It will bring national exposure to the university, but it won't come cheap. 2 News reporter Robert Lowry begins our live team coverage digging into the costs.
Well, Wright State University was chosen to host this debate because we're told it's had a very good bid. That was from the Commission on Presidential Debates after its announcement today. But even with this bid and that price tag that would come with hosting the debate, the Wright State University president says that it'll be worthwhile to the exposure that comes to the region and to the university. Across the street from the Nutter Center, there's plenty of optimism about Wright State hosting the first presidential debate. This time next year, Mike Bartolotta hopes he'll be working with a greener kind of dough.
With all the entourage of media coming in and security and so on and so forth, I think it's going to bring a lot of people. I think it'll be busy for a while.
With national attention focused on the region, there's a good chance seats here at the Flying Pizza will be full. But getting a presidential debate comes with a price tag and a shot at millions of dollars in exposure. In 2008, Hofstra University in New York paid $4.5 million for a presidential debate. In return, the university says it got about $30 million in exposure. And in 2012, Center College in Kentucky paid about $3.3 million for a vice presidential debate. The college estimates it received about $53 million in exposure. I asked the university's president just how much it would cost Wright State to host this debate. He could not give me an exact number, but said it would be multiple millions of dollars. Money, he says, is being raised through community and state partnerships.
To think that more than 90 million people will be engaged in watching that debate from around the world, and the ability for us to really showcase this region, I think it's a big opportunity for our community.
It's a community striving to show what the Miami Valley has to offer.
Dayton's going to get a little exposure. Wright State's going to get a little exposure. I feel like it's going to put us on the map. Everybody will know who we are.
And to commemorate tonight's announcement, the Nutter Center lit up in red, white, and blue. That's just happening tonight. Meanwhile, the money that is raised for this debate will go to cover the expenses for putting on the debate. That's personnel, equipment, and things like that. So right now, logistical planning will start for next year's debate. Reporting live, Robert Lowry, 2 News, working for you.
And just as other large-scale events have done before, last month's debate provided an opportunity for Cleveland to shine to those in attendance as well as those who were watching at home. Destination Cleveland, they don't have the exact economic impact figures yet, but estimates the direct spending related to the debate to be well into the 7 figures.
And 2 News reporter Tyler Yutzka continues our team coverage of the day's major story.
He tells us what is next for Wright State as it begins the countdown to debate day.
Well, a lot of work was put in to get to this point, and I spoke with a university employee who played a big role who says there's a lot more work to be done.
Monday, September 26, 2016, from 9 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's as much as we know.
John McCants is the right-hand man to Wright State University's president, David R. Hopkins, when it comes to the presidential debate. He says they applied to be a debate site in December of 2014 and learned they were a finalist in the spring and didn't expect to find out so soon that they had landed the first presidential debate.
When it came like a tidal wave over top of everybody, and fortunately we had enough advanced planning in place that we were kind of prepared.
It's big news for our community. We want to showcase Ohio. We want Wright State to showcase the region, and we want to tell everybody what a great place we live and work in.
In November, Wright State University staff will fly to Washington, D.C. to meet with the Commission on Presidential Debates.
Along with our fellow host universities from the other 3 institutions, where we will kind of more or less be given our roadmap for the next 11 months.
As for the Nutter Center, where the debate will take place, it can accommodate 11,000 people, but McCants doesn't expect near that many, estimating closer to about 1,000.
The one thing I can say is, we have a large facility, and I know there's an expectation in the community, well, it's at the Nutter Center, there'll be thousands of people there. No, there will not. There'll be a fraction of that.
And many of you wondering, how do you get tickets to come see this presidential debate next fall? Well, earlier today, Wright State University tweeted that they will be distributing tickets through a lottery system. And as more information becomes available, we'll let you know how you can get involved. Tyler Yuska, 2 News, working for you.
Now, this will be Wright State's first time hosting an actual presidential debate, but of course the Nutter Center has a long history of welcoming political candidates. In February 2008, then Senator Barack Obama held his Keeping America's Promise rally at the Nutter Center. Of course, he secured the Democratic nomination a few months later. In August of 2008, the Nutter Center hosted the Republican nominee, John McCain, and it was there that he introduced his running mate to the world, Alaska Governor Sarah Palin. And most recently, the Nutter Center hosted Vice President Joe Biden in September of 2012. He was here to drum up support for President Obama's re-election campaign. And, of course, that's when he infamously referred to the university as Wayne State, which, of course, is up in Detroit. For all of our coverage of Wright State hosting the debate next year, check our website, WDTN.com.